What's up, everybody? Chris closes your deal here with Real Estate Investing Made Easy and Lazarus Property Group, and we're about to get on some live seller calls. So appreciate you guys jumping on. Appreciate the patience. Today's been a little funky. Had a meeting earlier that kind of took me away from getting on live earlier today, and then had an appointment. And so, yeah, we're just going to get after it for the rest of the afternoon. So I got some seller calls that I'm going to get on. I do actually have to follow up with this one seller we're under contract with, just to get some clarified details here so you guys can hear that. This is the one that we anticipate making about $200,000 on, that I locked up a couple weeks ago. And our agent went out, looked at the property, and she's confident we can list it for like 970, and we have it under contract at 660. So we'll see how this goes. All right. Just posting my Instagram story for this. Let's go. What's up, Austin? Yeah, so great question. How do you send us leads? So you can go to, and I'll put it in the chat. It's www.closeanddispo.com. And so there's a few different things that we can do. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do, but do you need help with dispoing a deal? Do you need help with locking up a contract, or do you need help converting like a cash deal to like creative or innovation or something like that? What is it exactly that if you have one specific lead that you're referencing, or just in general? Can you guys hear the ringing?
87 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, what's up, Raphael? It's Chris. I got your text message from earlier. Sorry, I was out of the office, had a chiropractor appointment. Just getting back in, getting caught up here. But wanted to get back with you and chat and figure out what we got going. So give me a call when you get a chance. My telephone number is 619-525-7132. Again, it's 619-525-7132. Hope you're having a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Just in general, I've been getting a ton of leads from SMS marketing, but I'm not great at getting on the phones and closing them. Okay. All right. Perfect. Yeah. So I guess the question would be, have these been talked to at all? Because what I might be hearing, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you're talking about sending just not necessarily cold leads, but like warm leads. Not necessarily, they haven't been talked to, or any discovery at all. So that's something a little bit different. So the closeanddispo.com is more designed for, again, two channels, right? closing support and dispo support. So if you already have a contract, then it would be dispo support. We can help you dispo the deal, whether it's a cash deal, whether it's a novation, creative deal, whatever it is, right? So that's one totally separate thing. You already have a contract, you need help dispoing it. If you closing support, it's generally reserved for leads that somebody has already had a conversation with. They've done what they can to build rapport, go through the discovery. They've made a cash offer, but just weren't able to close it, and they feel like they're close, but they just need that extra push to get it closed. And so I can come in and I can get on with them. We can close the deal. Or let's say you have a cash contract you locked up. You've already tried to dispo it and you think it could potentially be a good fit for a novation, right? It's clean. It could qualify for financing, stuff like that. We can get on the phone with them, with you alongside us, and we can convert them from a cash transaction to a novation transaction. And then we handle everything on the back end, the whole dispo side, vetting agents, listing it, the whole process. What it sounds like you're talking about is you're doing prospecting through SMS and you're getting qualified leads, and you want to send over those qualified leads. So that would be a different discussion. The close and dispo support, those deals we typically are splitting those 50-50. There's some other examples that are just a little bit more extenuating circumstances. That's like extreme creative deals that require us to come up with money up front and that type of stuff. So that's just a little bit different. But what you're talking about is sending over leads to us to work the leads. And we'd have to discuss that and come up with, a specific arrangement. So we're happy to talk about that. And I can give you, I'll put my email in the chat so you can always hit me up. So that's me and Christian's email. So you just CC us both on there, and then we can chat with you and kind of come up with something offline for your specific situation. So, all right, let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna have a few different calls that I gotta make here. Let's see. Six p.m. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna call Kathy. If you guys were on this yesterday, you'll remember Kathy. But let's go ahead and give her a call. Kathy's fun. I like Kathy.
Please leave your message for
And Austin, by the way, not sure if you're still on here, but if you are, we do have a mastermind that you probably get a lot of value out of if you need help with closing and you need help with just getting on the phones and really getting going. The mastermind might be really, really helpful for you because we meet every week and we discuss problems and challenges that people are facing in their business and kind of help them out through that process. So that could be something that could be really helpful for you. So definitely hit us up about that. All right, let's try again.
Please leave your message for
Kathy Walker Harris.
sorry, mailbox is full. To send an
Okay, I'm gonna send her a message. Okay, if you guys recall, I've been working with Kathy for a while now. We had a very long conversation yesterday. Talked to her agent yesterday who lit me up and was coming all types of sideways on that call. And I, kind of gave her a little bit of the business on that call too. And then I called Kathy, called Kathy back later. The agent was basically saying she's not going to accept your offer, blah, blah, blah. So then I called Kathy back later and we had a long conversation and we're supposed to be hopefully wrapping this up today, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right, I'm going to do some new seller calls for now, and then I have a call scheduled at 3:30. So let's see here. New Haven, Indiana. Perfect. This one looks good. All right.
That's coming.
Hi, can I speak to Larry?
Who's calling?
This is Chris.
From where?
Is this Miss Sanderlin?
Yes, you're calling our business line.
Oh, I didn't know it was a business line. I was calling because
Yes, it is.
our referral partner gave us your contact information, said you guys
For
were
what?
said that you guys were considering selling a home that you own on Bridgewood Court.
Right.
Yeah. Is now a bad time?
No, not really.
Okay.
What
All
is
right.
the name of your realty?
We're not realtors. We're buyers. We're just looking to buy some properties in the area. So we do a lot of
Oh,
business.
no, our property is a lot. So it's not like a cash value.
What do you mean?
Our property is worth $270,000.
Oh, that's fine.
It's
We buy multi-million-dollar properties from time to time. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's not a big deal. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if it is something you're considering selling, happy to discuss with you and see if this would be a good fit. I guess you guys were looking to downsize, and it's got like a pretty big lawn.
Yeah, it's a pretty big lawn. It's probably a quarter of an acre.
Quarter of an acre. Okay. All right.
Or maybe
Perfect.
an eighth of an acre. I don't know the exact.
Okay. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
I'm Tess.
Tess.
I'm Mrs. Larry.
Nice to meet you, Tess, Mrs. Larry.
Uh-huh.
Well, by the way, I do have to let you know that all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. The point of the call today really is just to see if your property even qualifies for getting an offer as is. We're generally looking for properties to put in our portfolio for one of two reasons. Either we're going to buy it and keep it as some sort of a rental, or we're going to renovate the property and put it back on the market. Okay.
We don't need renovation. It's a beautiful property. I was just trying to tell you that at the onset of our conversation.
Oh, that's perfect then.
Okay.
Then it sounds
It's
like
not-
it could be a
it's
good
not-
for.
It's not a rental property. It's a nice property in a very nice neighborhood.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, we own a lot of rentals in a lot of really nice neighborhoods. So yeah, that's not a problem at all. I mean,
I don't think our neighbors are gonna appreciate rentals. There are no rentals here. They're all owned.
Okay. Again, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it, but that's generally the reasons we're looking to buy properties. And your house may qualify, it might not. Um, but by the end of the phone call, I can either get you an approval with an offer or they'll deny it and they'll tell us exactly why. Okay.
Okay.
So some of the benefits of working with us is we buy the home as is, so you don't have to do anything to it.
You are
I'm sorry.
okay. You are describing properties that are for sale that have something wrong with them,
No, I'm not.
and they don't have to
Yeah,
be.
no, I'm not describing any particular properties. What I'm saying is that you would not be required to do anything to the property, whether it needed it or not.
Well, ours don't need anything.
Great. So then you still won't need to do
It's in a
anything.
good shape.
Perfect. So you still won't need to do anything. And then the other thing is we would cover all of the closing costs. So you wouldn't have to pay any closing costs. And there's no realtor commissions that are taken out. So if we do get your property approved for an offer, the offer that I get you is going to be a net number directly to your pocket. Of course, minus any.
Well, let me tell you. We're only willing to sell it for 270 grand.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. That's our bottom line.
Okay. Great. How did you guys come up with that number?
That is what the property is assessed for right now.
Oh, the tax assessed value?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, that certainly helps. Do you mind grabbing a pen and a piece of paper? I'm going to have you jot down some of my contact info. And if we do get the property approved today, there will be some other info you're going to want to have handy.
I don't know if I'm really interested, because you guys buy properties outright on the money that you want to buy it for, and that's not what this property is.
I'm not really sure I even understand what you're trying to say.
I am familiar with not realty. I'm familiar with investors that buy properties at the value they want to buy it. Okay, not at the seller's cost, but at the property you want to buy the thing. We're not willing to negotiate that way.
That's fine. We haven't even gotten to talking about the property yet. I have no idea if we even want to buy the property. But you did say you wanted to sell the property, right?
Well, at the right time and at the right money.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Did I say something to offend you?
No, not at all. It's just that I think I just think that you are not looking at this property as you're looking at this property as an investment, okay? Whether you rent it but this is just not the right neighborhood. This neighborhood don't like rentals, okay?
Well,
We're in a real nice neighborhood. They don't want rental properties around them.
Okay, well, I didn't say it was going to be a rental property. It might be a
Well, I
rental
don't
property.
know.
But at the end of the day, right, what the neighbors want has nothing to do with what the owner of the property wants to do. And so if we buy the property from you and we're the owners, then we can do whatever we want to do with the property. And the neighbors can't
That's
say
true.
anything, right? So we don't really
That's
care
true,
what the
but we don't
neighbors
want
think.
to. We don't want to ruin what the neighbors want.
Okay, well,
So
again,
I don't think we're a perfect fit. Okay,
well,
I really don't think so.
That's a pretty bold assessment when we barely even started a
It is.
conversation.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have dealt with people that buy properties.
Okay, well, just for
and
clarity,
this is not that kind of property.
Okay, well, it sounds like your property is a nice property in a nice neighborhood. I'm sure it's probably not the caliber of property like Carmel, where we own multiple properties, and Greenwood, where we own multiple properties, and
Right,
other
Carmel, Indiana has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's
and
like $500,000
it's a very business. Carmel is a very business-oriented place. A lot of people are there a short time. A lot of people are there a long time. I am very familiar with Carmel, Indiana. Okay. I used to live close to there. So, I do not know if you're trying to do it as a B&B. I really do not know. But all the people that have sold their properties around us are very careful to only deal with real estate people and single home type property. So I don't think this is the kind of property for you.
Yeah, I think you're sadly mistaken because we buy many properties in that area, which is the reason why we're reaching out to you.
Now, have you bought a property at Lakes of Scarborough?
I don't know if we bought a property in Lakes of Scarborough, but I know we've bought multiple properties in that general vicinity in the Meadowbrook area, in the New Haven area.
Oh, Meadowbrook. This is not Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook is the poor side of New Haven.
Okay. It sounds like you're not really that interested in selling the property. Am I wrong about that?
And we want to sell it to the right people.
Got it. What's the right person look like?
Well, the right person is a single home owner
Why?
that wants to live in the property. That's not of your business. That's what we want.
Okay.
We don't want to destroy what the community is.
Okay.
Because we have lived in areas where people bought their property and they were put up as a B&B, and we got out of that property.
Yeah, nobody
we
said
didn't want
nobody said we're looking to do an Airbnb. But anyway,
I
good
know.
luck. Good luck. You have a good day.
Thank you.
It sounds like,
Bye-bye.
you're looking for something very
Mhm.
specific. So
Right.
God bless.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Wow, people are wild. That was the wildest conversation I've had with somebody that like actively wants to sell their property. It was just never experienced that before. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Mm. Okay, let's see here. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's get on another one. Griffin, Fort Wayne. Where are these Fort Wayne?
Please leave your message for 26041766594. Please leave your message for 2604175.
Who's speaking?
Hi, can I speak to Lewis?
How can I help you?
Yeah, this is Chris. I was calling about your property on Davidson Ave. You'd spoken with
Okay.
a referral company, and it looks like they paired
Okay.
your property with us because they thought it would be a good fit. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Okay. No. Go ahead. I have a few minutes. Go for it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, they mentioned here in the notes that you were just wanting to sell. It's like an investment property. I guess it's a rental.
It is a rental, and so I want to know what you guys have to offer.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Sounds good. And by the way, I do have to let you know all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. The point of this call really is to see if the property even qualifies in getting an offer as is. We're
Sure.
generally, yeah, we're generally looking for properties for one of two reasons. We're either going to fix it and flip it, or we're going to buy it and keep it as a rental. So by the end of
Okay.
this call, I'll either be able to get you an approval with an offer, or they're going to deny it and they'll tell us exactly why.
That's fine. No problem. Go for it.
Perfect. Yeah, and some of the benefits of working with us is that we buy the home as is, so you don't have to even sweep up after yourself. We'll cover all the closing costs, and there's no commissions. So if we do get an offer approved today, then that number would be a net number to you, minus, of course, any outstanding debt or taxes that are owed or anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Would you mind grabbing a pen and a piece of paper? I'm gonna have you jot down my some contact info, and if we do get it approved today, there'll be some other info you'll want to jot down.
You could send me a follow-up email if you like.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, and again, my name's Chris with Lazarus Property Group, like Lazarus from the Bible. So I guess what is it that's got you considering selling?
You call me.
Okay.
You guys call me. Ask me if I'm interested in selling the house. Like, hey, why not? Give me an offer. We'll go from there.
Okay, got it. But obviously you're thinking about selling, right? Or otherwise, we probably wouldn't be talking, I'm guessing.
Right.
Okay, got it. So what is it that had you initially thinking about selling in the first place?
I restate my statement. You guys call me. I'm interested in what you guys have to offer.
Okay, got it. How long have you owned the property?
Over 10 years.
10 years. Okay, got it. Has it been a rental that whole time?
The whole time?
Nice. All right. And are the tenants like long-term tenants, or are they month to month?
They have been there for a long, long time. And they're month to month.
Okay, got it. Perfect. And do they have any idea you're thinking about selling, or?
Not yet. I need to get an offer before I even talk to them about it.
I got
If
you.
the offer is suitable, then I tell them, I'm planning to sell the house. It will take place in this time frame. But if it's not, then no big deal. I don't have to sell it.
Got it. Okay. All right. In a perfect world, I mean, what were you hoping to walk away with?
Market probably.
Okay. And what's that in your mind?
Just what Zillow tells you. Just look it up, the address on Zillow, and that's the price I want.
Got it. Okay. Have you looked on Zillow recently?
Nope.
Okay. Got it. So you have no idea what Zillow is looking for?
Nope. Just look at the market value, and then once you give me a figure, I look it up, and then say, fair, no fair, move on. Simple.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, and they've been there for a long time. So have you done any updates in the last 3 to 5 years to the property?
Yeah, constant.
Okay. Like what?
Remodeling, whether it's painting the house, landscaping, removing trees, fixing a fence, fixing this. If they need a problem with the plumbing, then I send the plumber. Just regular maintenance that they need. I
Okay.
address it.
Got it. So
Yep.
basic maintenance, not really like
Yep.
updating the property.
Nope. I have not in the room. I have not put new windows. I have not done anything like that.
Got it. Okay. So no new windows. What I know it was built in the 1940s or 1950s. Does it still look like the 1940s and 50s when you walk in the front door?
I wouldn't tell you because we added an air conditioning unit a few years back because who can live without air conditioning in California?
Especially in San Bernardino.
No, are you kidding me? So we added that, and we added it in a way that that is secure and safe for the tenants, and they're happy with it. And so we added that. So that's an upgrade.
Okay.
But it was not in the last 5 years. So I cannot say, hey, it happened the last 5 years, and I would be lying.
I gotcha.
But it's working, and they're happy with it, and that's all that matters.
Okay. Got it. And what about the kitchen and the bathrooms? Were those all done prior to you purchasing the property?
We just replaced a new counter in the bathroom that they wanted an upgrade on the bathroom sink.
Mhm.
This is get a new bathroom sink. It's like I don't care, just buy one, fix it up, tell me what the cost is, and I'll send the money. Like, oh, perfect. So they did it, and so I'm very landlord hands off type of thing. You have a problem, you tell me, I fix it, and we move on.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right.
I'm not
So-
there to invade your space or anything like that. It's like, you know what? You pay your rent on a monthly basis. That's all I care. Upkeep the property. If you need problems, just tell me. I'll fix it and we'll go.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. And what's the current rent that you're charging?
Hardly anything. That's why they stay there forever. $1,500,
1,500. Okay.
which
Got
is
it.
way below market value, and they know it.
Yeah. What do you think the current market value for that unit would be?
Oh, rent-wise,
Yeah.
about no less than $2,000. Let's put it that way.
Got it. Okay.
Usually 22, 25.
Okay.
They're
All
really
right.
poor, so I don't want to take them out. It's like, but I need the money. It's like, they have been living there for a long time, and it's like, well, I need to think about long-term investment. It's like, it's time to move on.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. So if you were to sell this and get what you're looking for it, like what would be the plan for you? Like, is the money just going to go sit in a bank account? You're going to go gamble it on black in Vegas, or what's the goal?
Vegas, here I come, buddy.
All right. Hey, you know what? You're probably better off doing that than putting it in the stock market, as of late.
No, nothing of that nature. The other investments that I want to consider, but real estate, maybe so. I don't know. At this
Okay.
point, I don't know.
Got it. Okay. All right. So it seems like, if we were to buy it to fix it and sell it and bring it up to 2024 standards, it sounds like it's going to need pretty much a full cosmetic rehab, right? It's going to need kitchen will need to be redone with counter, cabinets, appliances, flooring, paint. The bathroom probably needs to be updated to 2024 standards. Am I wrong about that?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think so, and because they have been living there for a long time, and every time they need something, we fix it. So it's in a livable condition. It's not a house that's like, oh crap, what did I get myself in? So if you don't want to buy it, that's perfectly fine, man. Just move forward. We call it a day, no big deal. But I will not take below market value, regardless. So
Gotcha.
you could determine it needs new paint, it needs appliances. That's up to you, man. That's okay. You could put on the list of things that need to be done, but I will not take below any cash below market value.
Yeah, then why don't you list it?
Why should I?
Because that's how you're gonna get market value, retail value.
No,
I mean,
no,
it
no.
sounds like you want retail renovated value, right? And there's a,
No.
obviously you know as a real estate owner that there's a difference between livable and remodeled to 2024 standards, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
let's
but
be real.
I don't want you have like an investor that you are. You don't want to put a 2025 home standards to a neighborhood that doesn't need 2025 standards. They cannot afford that standards. So why you want to spend
Based
so much money renovating it to
based on
2020?
what? Like how are you
It's
determining that
okay.
somebody can't afford that, right? Like and I'm not sure if you know how Zillow works, right? So Zillow's estimate, just to kind of help you get a better
Yep.
understanding, right? Is you probably do know this, but Zillow's estimate is based on comparable properties that are
Yep.
in 2024 standards, right? So the Zestimate that it tells you is based on homes that are similar to that Bed Bath count, similar square footage, that are updated to today's standards. So when you look at whatever Zillow says, that's what a retail number for that property, might possibly go for, right? But if a
Let me
property
put it.
is not 2024 standards, then obviously you have to deduct for the things that it's going to take to get it up to 2024 standards, right? Like you would agree that a property that's fully renovated will probably sell for more than a property that somebody has owned for 10 plus years and nothing's been updated. Would you agree with that statement?
Theoretically speaking, yes, but practically speaking, no.
Okay, got it.
And I'll tell you why.
Sounds
It's very
like
simple.
we're probably not a good fit to work together.
That's okay. It's very simple. I just sold a property for $410,000.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely gutted out.
Okay.
They needed everything from roofing to flooring to windows to everything. Market value plus $50,000 cash. That's what it was sold for. Nothing was fixed, and it was the same price as the neighborhood than the guy next door.
Okay.
So I get you, man. So if your company that's perfectly fine. You have every right to do so. But houses are selling at a market value regardless of it. So I fully understand your position. I 100% I understand it. But in today's market, it's a different ballgame.
Well, it's not really a different ball game.
No, and what I
The ball game right now is that interest rates are high, right?
Yep.
So buyers
Mm-hmm.
are sitting, on the sidelines waiting, right? Sellers have thought that their home was worth the moon and the stars, and now values are coming down to reality, and houses are sitting for a lot longer, right? So there's lower.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But it sounds like you want a full retail number for your property, which is fine. If that's what you want, then you should list it, because that's where you're going to get a full retail number. But you're going to have to pay realtor commissions, closing costs, and all that stuff. I mean, there's properties nearby you that are substantially larger that are selling for at or even less than what Zillow says your house is worth. So.
Okay.
That's just the reality of the market, but that's fine. I mean, it sounds like you're just not really ready to sell at this point. Like you said, you don't have to sell.
Value. No,
What's that?
Not below market value. Not a below market value. I will not sell it.
Yeah, it's not about being below market value. Market value, right, is based on an idea, conceptual idea of a condition that doesn't need work. And then you have to account for the work that's needed to be done. If you're looking for a unicorn buyer that just absolutely wants that house and that house alone and is willing to pay whatever somebody wants to sell it for, that's a different thing, right? But the reality is, if a house renovated is worth $400,000, but it needs $80,000 worth of work,
it's certainly not going to sell for $400,000, right? It's
Yep,
going to sell
I-
for an appropriate value.
I understand what you're saying. Believe me, practical. That sounds beautiful in theory, but in practical, I've seen something
Well,
different.
I mean, yeah, okay. Again, it just sounds like we're probably not a good fit. I get it. You're not really ready to sell at this point. You know, if you do and you want to get market value, I think your best bet's probably going to be to list the property.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much for the
All
advice.
right. Good luck.
of
Have a
luck.
good one.
Oh, you too. Take care. Bye bye.
See ya. All right. So that's going to go into a long-term follow-up. So guys, when I'm on the phone with sellers, one of the things that I'm like very quickly trying to do is I'm trying to figure out if the person is a realistic person or an unrealistic person. I don't necessarily care what they want for their house, because if they have an unrealistic expectation for the value of the house, but they are a reasonable person, then I can use logic and reason to help them understand why that expectation of value might be wrong. Now, there might be a necessity why they need to get that number, and that's a totally different story, right? They can be a reasonable person with an unrealistic expectation, and they're up against something where they're upside down on their mortgage, or, you know, they have crazy medical bill, whatever it is, where they're like, no, you don't understand. I have to get this because I have a second lien. I have all this stuff, right? But really what I want to figure out is the person reasonable? He was unreasonable. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll sell, but only at market value. I'm not willing to even discuss it. You know, my house worth, blah, blah, blah. So he's just going to go in a long-term follow-up. Now, some people might completely DQ that lead, but at some point in the future, time and circumstance, right? Time changes circumstance. So that might change, and he might be in a different position at some point in the future. Perfect. So we just a novation that I listed. When did it go live? Went live September 5th. And we got an offer within 12 days that we accepted. And then they just had the appraisal done. The appraisal came in at value, no issues. Let's see here. And we might be able to close by next Friday, which is, what's that? That'd be great. That's a $25,000 novation deal from our own lead sources. So next Friday, dude, that's the 11th. Let's freaking go. We need that. Yeah, and this one is one that would not work as a cash deal. So we pivoted to a novation. We got our agent out there. We have a rock solid agent out in the indie market. She crushes it. By the way, for any of you watching, this is in Greenwood, Indiana, which is apparently like supposed to be a really nice part of Indiana where those leads don't make sense for us to do business with. And it was one of the first people in Greenwood, Indiana that I spoke to, locked them up, one call close. Easy peasy, super nice guy, and now we're making $25,000-$30,000. So, who would have thought Greenwood, Indiana? Let's see here. All right, so now I'm going to call this other guy. We'll get a San Diego lead.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Jerry, this is Chris.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
If I was any better, I couldn't stand it.
Nice, nice. Well, we're in San Diego, so it's not a bad place to be feeling great, you know. Got beautiful
Well,
weather.
hopefully it's cooler than East Bay and San Francisco right now. We're having a little bit of a heat snap.
Oh, wow. Okay. Is that where you live up there?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Very nice.
Hey, give me a second to get some earbuds in and
Okay.
kind of, I was doing something else. Hang on a minute.
Oh, no worries.
So, Chris, are you in some way related to Mary, who had been texting me and
Yes.
was on the account and now isn't on the account? And
Yep.
how's it going?
Yeah, going great. Mary's one of our assistants here, so she does a lot of our SMS outreach. And so, yeah, appreciate you connecting with her. And it looks like she had scheduled me to call you about 10, 15 minutes ago. I was just on a call that ended up running a little bit longer, so I appreciate the patience.
No problems. What's on your mind?
Yeah, well, she had mentioned, I guess, in the notes here that you were considering selling a property that you own. I believe it's on Camino de Grazia. Or de Grazia?
Grazia? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, she had approached me about it. I didn't know that I was, contemplating selling right now, but in the same breath, I said, hey, you know the market. You can see the pictures on Zillow. Figure out if you want to talk or not.
Got it.
And
Okay.
so if you got ideas that you want to run by me, I'm wide open to listen.
Okay. All right. Yeah, sounds good. Well, and by the way, I do have to let you know that all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. I guess the point of this call today is really just to see if the property, even qualifies for us making an offer based on what we're looking for. We're usually looking for properties for one of two reasons. Either we're going to keep it as some sort of a rental, could be a long-term rental, short-term rental, traveling nurses, whole host of different things we do there, or certain homes will just, renovate them up to 2024 standards and then put them back on the market. So by the end of this call, I'll either be able to get an approval from the underwriters with an offer, or they'll deny it with a reason why. Generally speaking, the way we buy homes, we're going to come in and buy the home as is. So you don't have to do anything. There's no it's not like with a retail buyer where they have, an FHA loan. It's like, oh, this needs to be done for it to, meet the standards or anything like that. So buy it as is, cover all the closing costs, no realtor commissions. So the number, if we do get a number approved, that would be a net number to you, of course, minus any existing debt or outstanding taxes or anything like that.
Okay.
Would you mind grabbing a pen and a piece of paper real quick? I'm gonna have you jot down some info, and if we get this approved, there will be some other piece of info you'll want to jot down as well.
Why don't you figure out what you need from me and
Okay.
kind of be quick about it so that you don't waste my time and I don't waste your time. Did you look at the property on Zillow?
No, I haven't had a chance to. She just put it on my calendar, and like I said, I've been on calls all day, so I just saw it was on my calendar to call you, and so that's where we're at.
Okay. Well, so I've owned it for about 6 years.
Okay.
Currently, it's been rented 100% of the time. I'm not in any kind of a cash pinch that I have to worry about doing something with it.
Okay. All right. Is it just yourself that owns
And
it,
the
or is
lease-
there anybody else on title?
I'm 75% owner, and I've got another 25% partner in it.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. And have you guys talked about selling it, or are they on board, or?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. And you were going to mention about the lease, about their month to month or long-term tenants, or?
I renew annually,
Okay.
and so we have annual leases that expire at the end of December. So
End of
typically,
December?
typically to 45 days in advance or so, we start, hey, here's a new lease, because they need to know what's coming at them, and if they want to renew, great. And so far, I've had the same tenants for 6 years.
Oh, okay. Nice. And what are the current rent rates you guys are charging?
That's none of your business.
Oh, okay. Well, sometimes we do, buy with tenants occupied. And so, obviously if we are going to buy it with tenants occupied, we would need to know what the lease rate is to see if it makes sense to close tenant occupied. Is there any particular reason you wouldn't want to share that?
Because it shouldn't have any impact whatsoever as to if you want to buy the property or not. You know what the rents are in the local market. You know what the property values are in the market. You didn't take the time to do any research prior to this call. So I don't see how my lease with my tenant is any of your business. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, hey, if you want to talk business, let's talk business, but don't come in and start asking me my financials. Does that make sense to you?
I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but obviously you're offended by
Why
the
not?
question.
Wait,
Well,
why not?
Well,
Because let me ask you a dumb question. I'm going to ask
Sure.
you a dumb question.
Sure.
Okay. So if my tenant basically says, hey, hey, I'm going to sell the place at the end of December. I need you to vacate. How does that impact the financials for you? How does that impact what you're going to offer me on my property?
Well, it doesn't, but
It shouldn't.
right.
It doesn't. Exactly. It
However,
doesn't.
in a different scenario, a business, right? It's a rental business is essentially what it is. And if you were buying any business, you'd probably want to understand the business's financials to determine whether it's a good asset to buy, right? And like I said, sometimes we do buy tenant occupied, but that's okay. You don't have to share with me.
Chris, do your research on the property. Find out what the rents are going for locally. And then figure out if you want to buy it or not.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because otherwise you're playing with me.
Well,
Okay?
no,
And I don't have the time nor the patience for this.
okay.
I have an asset. If you want to buy it, get your shit together and call me back.
Okay.
But if you're not prepared to have the conversation, don't bother me.
No problem. Sounds like we're not a good fit. Good luck.
Bye.
Freaking dick. Man, people are freaking wild today. All right, let's see here. All right, on to the next one. Okay, we got an Idlewild vacation rental or vacation home. Let's see here.
Weekly Chiropractic, how can I help you?
Hey, Bruce.
Yes. Dr.
Hey, this
Blakely,
is-
how can I help you?
Yeah, this is Chris. I was calling about your property on Strong Drive. It was referred
Yeah.
to me by one of our referral companies, and they had paired your
Yeah.
property with us because they thought we'd be a good fit. Did I catch you at a bad time?
No, now's a good time.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, they mentioned to me here in the notes that I guess this is like a vacation home, and you just don't get to use it as much as you would like to.
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, and by the way, I do have to let you know that all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. The goal of this call really is just to see if the property even qualifies for getting an offer as is. They're generally looking to pick up properties for usually one of two reasons. Either we're going to renovate it and put it back on the market, or we're going to keep it as some sort of a rental. It could be a long-term rental. It could be a short-term rental. Sometimes we do like insurance rentals or traveling nurses. So like more midterm stuff. So any one of those types of things. So by the end of this call, I'll either be able to get an approval from the underwriters on this and they'll come up with an offer, or they'll deny it and they'll tell us exactly why. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Now, some of the benefits of working with us is the fact that, when we buy homes, we buy them as is. So you don't even have to sweep it up. We'll cover all the closing costs. There's no realtor commissions taken out. And in a lot of cases, in situations like this, we did a house not too long ago that was similar situation, vacation rental, or not vacation rental, but vacation property. And they had some stuff in there, but they weren't planning on keeping it. And so we just disposed of everything that they didn't want. They didn't have to even come get the stuff out. Do you happen to have a pen and a piece of paper? I'm going to have you jot down some info real quick. And then if we get this approved, there'll be some other info you'll want to have handy.
Yep. Go ahead and shoot.
All right, perfect. So my name is Chris Deal, let's make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of our company is Lazarus Property Group, like Lazarus from the Bible.
Okay.
And my telephone number is 619
Mm-hmm.
525 7132.
Okay.
And then if you ever want to check us out online, it's just www.lazprop.com, LAZPROP.com.
Got it.
All right. So, yeah, so I guess catch me up to speed. How long have you guys had this vacation property?
I've had it for 14 years.
14 years. Oh, okay. You guys used to get out there pretty frequently, or?
Yeah, more so when my daughter was younger. We're not using it too much anymore.
Got
Not
it.
as often.
Okay. All right. When's the last time you guys have been out there?
I was up 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Got it. Nice. Where are you located?
I'm in Poway.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice. I'm in downtown San Diego. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I imagine by the 619 area code.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I love Idlewild. My wife and I went up there one time camping, and just beautiful up there. So.
Yeah, it is really nice.
I want to get up there. We have a 22-month-old, and so we've taken her out camping. We were up at it's like Lake Arrow, kind of near Big Bear, but definitely want to get her up to Idlewild. So awesome. All right. What was it that made you want to buy this property when you guys bought it 14 years ago?
Well, we were going up there quite a bit, and at that point, it didn't make sense to keep spending money on a weekend rental. I might as well buy something, and the market was exponentially different then. Things were affordable, so it just made sense to buy it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So that's kind of why we bought it. We spent a lot of time there for a long time. It's not much anymore.
Got it. Okay. All right. Perfect. And is it just yourself that owns the property, or is there anybody else on title that would need to be involved?
Yeah, my wife's own also.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your wife's name?
Pamela.
Pamela. Okay. Awesome. Have you guys been talking about selling it for a little while now?
Yeah, we have.
Okay. All right. Got it. Is there I know in these types of situations, sometimes there's family member that's would be upset to find out you're selling. Is there anybody in the family like that might rather
Well,
just
my
take it
daughter's
themselves?
not going to be crazy about it, but it's just the way it goes. So she's not
Yeah.
using it anymore, and I'm not using it. So it's just not. It's becoming more of a liability than an asset. So.
Got it. That makes sense. All right. Would you guys be looking to reinvest into some other real estate, or just, pulling your money out completely?
Well, possibly, probably just pulling the money out. I may wait a while and see what rates do and see what the general investing climate looks like in 6 months to a year. So probably just cashing out now.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. Is that going to have a big tax burden for you with selling?
Property, capital gains, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, potentially, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine.
Okay. All right. Do you still have a mortgage on it, or you guys own it outright?
No, there's still a mortgage. There's a little left on it, not much.
Okay. Got it. Have you ever considered just like renting it out?
I don't want to deal with the rental. I just don't want to deal with it.
Got it. Okay.
So I haven't. To answer your question, no.
Okay. No, I understand. It's, everybody makes it sound super easy and like, oh yeah, passive income. It's like, I don't know what kind of rentals you own, but it's certainly not passive.
Yeah. No, I don't want to go that direction with it.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. And it sounds like, are you a chiropractor?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I was just at the chiropractor a few hours ago. So
Good. Good deal.
yeah. So awesome. Well, in a perfect world, what were you hoping to walk away with on this?
I have no idea. I don't even know what it's worth. I haven't done a Zillow on it yet, and haven't got an appraisal, so I don't know.
Okay. All
More
right.
than I paid for it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Bought it 14 years ago. It's absolutely worth more today. That's for sure. Okay. And do you know, I know every little pocket is a little bit different. Do you know if there's any type of rental restrictions?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. I know like Big Bear's, changed quite a bit, and there's a bunch of Airbnbs, but unless you're grandfathered in, it's like a nightmare trying to turn something into an Airbnb these days. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, yeah, let's talk about the house itself. So let's see here. Is it like right on the road, or is it kind of tucked away, off the beaten path a little bit?
It's tucked away. It's up on a little bit of a rise off the road.
Okay. All right. Got it. And are there any structural issues that you're aware of?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Any siding or gutters missing?
Nope.
Okay. And anything out back of the house, or that we just couldn't see from like a Google Street View, like any other sheds or structures on the property?
There is a storage shed behind the house.
Shed. Okay. Do you know how big that is?
Oh, I'd say it's probably 12 by 12.
12 by 12. Okay. Got it. And is that wood or metal or some sort of composite?
It's metal.
Metal. Okay. Got it. Any structural issues or with that?
No.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Any other, I know the Idlewild area is a very unique area, and a lot of homes and properties have unique features. Are there any other features on the exterior, that like are attractive, or that kind of attracted you to it, or could be value add in some way?
No, it's got some high peaked roofs, has a high peaked roof, and that equates to a high peak inside. When you walk in the door, there's a high peak to it, and it's all knotty pine paneled, so it's really kind of unique.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hardwood
floors.
Hardwood floors. Yeah. Okay. Is that all throughout?
Yes.
Okay. Like even the kitchen and the bathrooms?
The kitchen and the bathroom, with the exception of the room ad, that was a room ad, and I'm sure that's a plywood floor, which is now just like a carpet, kind of a playroom type of thing.
Got it. Okay. All right. Perfect. And so knotty pine panels, hardwood floors. Do you feel like the hardwood floors, are they, nice and, sealed and finished, or, you think they would need any refinishing, or pretty good shape, or what?
Mostly they're in pretty good shape. In the wear areas, they probably, I'd say, may need to be finished in a couple of years, maybe. And that's just
Okay.
from dragging the snow and stuff like that. So
Yeah, okay, got it. All right. And perfect. Were you getting it when do you usually get up there to like prep for winter?
oh, I'm going up this weekend and probably, yeah, I'd say probably the 1st of December is time to start, prepping it up a little bit.
Got it, okay. December.
How much longer does it take, buddy? I got an appointment I have to get off to here pretty soon.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, just few more questions about the condition, but I can circle back with you, if there's another time, that makes sense for you. I don't want to keep you from your appointment.
Yeah, this is going to take a while longer. I have to get going. So,
Okay.
um,
What would be a better time or day to give you a call back?
how much more time do you need?
I mean, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. I mean, there's a few other questions, but then I would be going back to the underwriters to, based on the information I gather, I'll send that over to the underwriters and then they'll put together, they're either going to approve it or they won't. And if they approve it, then they'll put together an offer and then, I'd have that offer for you.
Okay.
How much time do you
can
have
just
before
circle
your
back.
appointment?
I've got to leave here like in the next 5 minutes or so. So,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Got it.
You can,
Yeah.
you can talk real fast.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you, so might be better to maybe circle back. Would tomorrow work for you
Yep. Just give me a holler back tomorrow about the same time.
around the same time? Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, I'll give you a call then. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye now.
All right. See ya. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Check my voicemail and see if I have a call in from ooh, we got another showing on our Colorado property coming up on Monday. All right, let's set this guy for a call back tomorrow. Same time. See, we were on with him for 13 minutes, so it would have been 3:45, so I'll put him in for 3:30 tomorrow. Put that on the calendar. Oh, that red, save. All right, new lead. Another Fort Wayne.
Hello?
Hey, Nicole, it's Chris.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Nicole, this is Chris. How are you?
Hey, Uncle Chris.
Good. Yeah, maybe
Hey.
might be the wrong Chris. I was calling about your property on Rockcroft Court.
Oh, can I give you a call back?
Yeah, that's fine. It sounds like you're pretty busy at a cheerleading or a football game or something. So,
Yep. All right, bye.
talk to you later. I had no idea what that was when she first picked up. It sounded like somebody was screaming like they were getting murdered. Hmm. All right, let's see what we got here. Another Fort Wayne. Uh-oh.
Please leave your message for
Hello.
Hey, Brenda, this is Chris. Hello.
please leave your message for
Hey, Brenda, it's Chris. I was calling about your property on New Haven Ave. Looks like you had spoken with one of my referral partners and you were looking at possibly selling. So yeah, wanted to chat with you about that. Give me a call back when you get a chance. My telephone number is 619-525-7132. Again, 619-525-7132. Hope you're having a great day and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye. Man, we're getting a ton of Fort Wayne leads right now. Okay, let's try that one more time. Evansville. All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hey, Derek, this is Chris.
Okay, Chris who?
Yeah, I was calling you, Chris with
No, Chris.
Lazarus. What's that?
Who?
Chris
Chris
with
who?
Chris with Lazarus Property Group. I was calling about your property on Old Post Road. It was referred to me by
Oh.
one of our referral partners.
Okay, we're not getting rid of it currently. We're gonna wait a little while.
Oh, okay. Nice. What, you guys plan on relocating?
Here and no, not far. We're just moving here in town, but it'll be a couple months still.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Usually we, typically close on properties within, 2 to sometimes 3 to 5 months.
Yep. But we'll be wanting to start in 3 months, not start now.
Okay. Got it. Well, yeah, I mean, the point of this call was just to see if the property even qualifies for getting an offer as is. What's got you thinking about selling?
I don't really feel like working with this right now. Sorry, but if you want to
Okay.
call back in maybe a couple months.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Sounds good.
All right. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Indy, here we go. Let's get to a better school district.
Hello,
Hello, Chad. This is Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris Deal with Lazarus Property Group. I was calling about your property on Raymond Street.
Okay.
Looks like, yeah, you were talking to one of my referral partners and they paired your property with us because they thought we'd be a good fit for you. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Oh. No, not at all.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, they mentioned here in the notes that I guess you were wanting to sell because you were wanting to get into a better school district for the kids.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of the thought process. We're looking to maybe move up north or something like that. Are you from the Indy area?
I'm not from the Indy area, but we do a lot, I
Okay.
do a lot of business in the Indy area, so, somewhat familiar.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we're in a bad school district, but it could be better, and I don't want to send my son to a private school.
I gotcha. What, where are you guys thinking of moving?
Geist, Carmel, somewhere up there.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, we've done some business in Carmel. I've talked to some sellers in Geist, but I don't know that we've actually. I can't recall if we've actually done any properties in Geist, but I know we've done some stuff in Carmel. We do stuff all over Indy, so
Cool.
Carmel's a great area. So
Oh
awesome.
yeah, absolutely. And great
Well,
schools too.
yeah, exactly. It's a lot of the people that I talk to, that's one of the first things they mention. So, um,
Hmm.
well, and by the way, I do have to let you know all calls are monitored and recorded for quality and training purposes. Really, the point of the call
Okay.
today is just to see if the property qualifies for getting an offer as is. The company, they're typically looking to buy properties for one of two reasons. Either they're going to renovate it up to 2024 standards and put it back on the market, or they're going to keep it and hold it as some sort of a rental, whether it's long-term,
Okay.
short-term, midterm, whatever. So by the end of this phone call, as long as you don't hang up on me, I'll be able to get either an approval with an offer, or they'll come back and they'll deny and they'll tell us exactly why. Okay.
Okay.
So if we do end up getting an approval on this, some of the benefits of working with us is that we buy the home as is. We cover all the closing costs. There's absolutely no commissions. So the number we get you would be a net number to you, of course, minus out any existing debt or like,
Yep.
I know Indy, they do
Mortgages
that.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yep, in the past year's taxes, I know they prorate that in retro. So,
Oh yeah, man.
yeah. But yeah, that'll basically be a net number to you. So do you mind grabbing a pen and a piece of paper? I'm going to have you jot down some info real quick. And then if we do get this approved, there'll be some other things you'll want to have handy to take down. So,
Well, I guess before we even like waste anybody's time, like, I mean, you saw the range I'm looking for though, right?
no, actually I didn't.
Okay. So I mean, I'm looking at somewhere between, 390 to 420.
Okay. Got it.
So if that's not going to be a possibility, I don't want to waste your time or mine.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not the numbers guy. I'm just the guy that gets to ask the questions and, learn more about the property itself. And then I submit everything over to
Okay.
the underwriters, and then they'll run it and, tell us exactly where we need to be. I guess, how did you
Okay.
arrive at those numbers?
Well, just looking at Zillow, and then really, I mean, I think the Zillow number is conservative because it doesn't take into, consideration of solar panels. I've got a geothermal system. I know that solar panels in Indiana don't add a lot of value, but, for the right buyer, it might. So, I'm not necessarily looking to recoup, maybe, 10% of the cost of it or something, but, that's kind of where I arrived at that number.
I gotcha. Okay. So solar, it could be either a great thing or it could be a terrible thing. Just depends on the situation. Do you own
Yeah.
it outright, or are there payments still left on it?
Yeah, I still have payments on it.
Still have payments. Okay. Is it a lease or is it a purchase with financing?
I own it.
Okay.
Yeah, purchase and financing.
Okay. So payments on solar. Yeah, I mean, it all depends. I mean, so I was working with a seller in some town in Texas, and I feel really bad for the guy because he already bought another house. He's an older guy, already bought another house and was, making the move. But some solar salesman saw him coming from a mile away, like 3 or 4 months before
Oh,
he
man.
talked to us. This guy had a 1,500 square foot property. What do you think they sold him the solar for?
30 grand.
Not even close. $70,000.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was 45, and I got a Tesla Powerwall in the basement. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and my array, when IPL came out, the guy was like, "Wow, this is the biggest array in Marion County I've seen." So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they totally shafted that guy, and we did everything we could. Like,
Wow.
we told him we couldn't do anything with it, so we tried to help him list it and like find a retail buyer. And literally, we had multiple people interested. They're like, if you could pay off the solar or cover half of the solar, we might take it. But he wasn't in
Right.
a position to do it. It was really sad. I
Yeah.
felt bad for him.
No, I got equity in my house, so I know that won't be an issue. I just, wanted to mention that I do have solar and a geothermal system. So
Yeah, nice. Okay, how much do you still owe on the
yeah.
solar?
Like 40.
Okay. Oh, so you just got it not too long ago.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. You said geothermal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. All right. When was that put in?
A couple years ago. I think I was like 12 grand on it.
Got it.
I got
Okay.
the 30% tax credits on both of them though, so that's nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You said 12K left on that?
Yeah, around that, yeah.
Okay, got it. Do you know, so sometimes,
I also
I
have a
know,
second mortgage,
okay, got it.
and that's for 40 grand.
Okay, second mortgage, 40K. What's on the first?
190.
190. Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. So yeah, even with the solar and stuff like that, you still have some debt.
Yeah.
Some equity. Sometimes, a lot of times the solar, those payments can be assumed. Do you know if the solar company will allow an assumption of the loan?
I'm not sure, honestly, but it was a different kind of deal for sure. Like they mentioned, like it's like they put a lien on the house kind of thing, you
Mm,
know.
okay.
So I don't know, you know, my thought would be if I have to, you know, sell the house, I'd pay off the panels as part of it, you know. So,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know if someone wanted to assume the payments, that's fine too. But if they don't, then you know
Yeah, you can get
that
it
probably
squared
wouldn't be
up.
good for me. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
got it. Okay. What's the monthly payment on the solar?
I don't know, it's $400 a month, I think.
400 a month.
250, I, 350. I can't remember, man.
Got it. Okay. All right. And what about the geothermal? You know how much that payment is?
Like 200 a month, I think.
200. Okay. Got it. All right.
Mortgage is 1,500. Second mortgage is 500.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Perfect. Have you thought about listing the property?
Yeah, actually, we kind of have. So I actually just finished my MBA, and my wife and I were thinking, you know, I have a fully remote job, so at one point we're like, let's get the fuck out of Indiana. But we're not quite sure of that. So we're kind of just, you know, exploring options at this point. You know, we're open, you know, so either it's going to take us north or we may be out of state, but I'm not anchored to the state for any reason. So,
Got it. Okay. All right.
yeah.
What if you guys were going to leave in Indiana, where do you think you might go?
Orlando.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Florida. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have, I work for a financial services company and we have a footprint down there. So it'd be easy. You know, I hate Indiana winters. So, and I
Yeah.
think it'd be at least inland enough not to worry about all those hurricanes and shit.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, I'll tell you, man, like if you're going to go to Florida, now is a great time because properties, I mean, we have couple properties that we have listed and everything is just sitting. So you could probably, scoop up something at, a pretty
Really?
decent deal. Yeah, there's a lot of properties
Yeah.
sitting in Florida. The
Is it
down
because of the insurance?
Yeah, that's been the challenge. So they got slammed with a bunch of hurricanes in the last few years, and
Yeah.
then the insurance
Mhm.
rates went up. They're starting to kind of, settle down a little bit because a few companies left the state, and then and so now there's a couple more companies kind of creeping back in, and so that's creating a little bit more competition. So it's kind of helping. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with Florida. It's been kind of
Right.
interesting as of late. So
Yeah, and that's where we were at because initially we're like, we should look at something coastal. And then, like, after Helena came through, we're like, would it be a good idea? Maybe we should look more inland, you know? So, yeah.
yeah, we have
I mean, it'd be selfish of us to want to be by the water, but, you know, we've got a 4-year-old and it wouldn't be right, you know, to have to scramble to high ground and, you know, so.
Yeah. I mean, you could always come out to good old California and be by the water, and not
Yeah.
have to worry about hurricanes.
Right, that's true. That's true. My brother was in LA for like a decade. The only problem is LA is 3 hours behind us, you know, and I work on New York time. So, you know,
Oh
I
yeah.
feel bad for my colleagues that are up at, 5, 6 a.m. every day to talk to me,
Yeah.
you know, being bright eyed and bushy tailed. So,
Yep. But, you
But
know,
hey,
on
getting
the
off at
flip
2-3
side,
isn't bad either.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, you know, and I mean, heck, if I worked those hours, I'd be out hitting the waves every afternoon, you know.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we're based out of San Diego, so we're not, you know, just a couple hours
Oh, cool.
south. So, um,
Yeah, I love San Diego.
yeah, it's beautiful. Other than the politics,
I mean,
you know, it's great.
isn't the average temperature there all year round like 78 or something?
It's probably in the, I'd say low 70s. You know, there's like a few,
Yeah.
most of the time it's in the 70s. There's a few times when it gets in the 60s. But I think I've been here for about 14 years now, and I think I've probably turned on heat like 3 times in that entire time. And
Oh,
it's probably
wow.
because my wife wanted it on. So,
Right. Yep. I know that goes.
yeah. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, you know, other than the homeless situation, which is starting to get worse in San
Yeah.
Diego, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah, I saw Skid Row when I was there. That was a sight to behold. So,
bro, it's yeah, man. I mean, Skid Row is really
mm,
freaking bad. There's a section in
yeah.
San Diego, so down kind of close to the Padres Stadium, off Island
Mm,
Ave. Island Ave is probably like a little Skid Row. You know, they're starting to clean it up a little
wow.
bit more, but yeah, I mean, when I first moved out here about 10 to 14 years ago, somewhere in that range, it was really, really bad. But they've, you know, the downtown area has been expanding east a bit, so that kind of cleans it up a little
Sure.
bit. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, man, sorry to digress.
No, yeah.
So I guess how soon were you guys thinking you would want to sell by?
Well, I know we said I originally told the guy 30 days, and then like my wife and I looked at each other and like that might not be really that feasible. You know, we might need like 60 to 90 days to clear out because we got a pole barn and you know just years of stuff in this house. But you know, I mean, if the money was right, you know, maybe we'd hire a moving company to get out quicker. You know,
Yeah,
so
got it. Oh, and you get the holidays coming up and everything. So yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a lot going on. Okay.
yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, yeah, let's talk about the house itself. So, before I talk to you about
Okay.
the inside of the house, let's just start with the outside. So,
Mm.
are there any, you know, other than I think all your guys' power lines and stuff like that just runs through the ground, right? You guys don't have anything above
No,
ground, right?
we do. Our power lines are above ground.
Oh, okay, got it. I know there's a lot of parts of Indy where it's underground. All
Yeah.
right. And other than what just feeds directly to the house, are there any like big power lines near the house?
No, I
Okay.
wouldn't say so. I mean, they run out in the street. I mean, I am on like I wouldn't call it a busier road, but it is a main road. So, I mean, there's power lines that run up and down it. But I
Okay.
mean, my house is on an acre and it's off of the front of the street.
Got it. Okay. Do you know what the speed limit is on that street right there?
35.
35. Okay, cool. All right. Anything structurally wrong with the house?
No.
Okay. And it's a brick house, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is it brick all the way around?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any gutters missing?
No.
Okay. All right. Any you said there was a pole barn, right? How big is the pole barn?
20 by 40.
20 by 40. Nice. That's a big one.
Mm.
All right. And perfect. I think that's anything else like out back of the house, pool, any other structures or anything?
Yeah, got a pool. It's partial in ground. It's not fully in ground, so it doesn't get assessed on taxes, I guess, but with like a deck around it.
Okay, got it. How's the deck? Has there been any like updates or changes to that at
Yeah,
all?
it's composite.
Oh, it's composite.
It's
Okay, cool.
composite.
Nice. All right. How long ago was that put in?
I feel like it took 2 summers, so it probably finished last summer or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it's all newer. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. And perfect. Well, let's walk me into the house. I know looks like the house was built back in the 60s. Does it still look like the 60s when you walk in the front door?
Yeah, yeah, everybody loves that brown and tan colored little square tiles in there. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I mean, if you look at the pictures on Zillow, I mean, other than changing wall colors, I mean, everything pretty much still looks the same. We put can lights in the living room, so there was no lighting in the living room or fan. So we had a ceiling fan and like some can lights, recessed lighting put in, but and then in the back room we put in some recessed lighting as well.
Okay, got it. So, let's see the same.
Yeah, most of the investments have gone into the solar and the geothermal up front. So,
Got it. Okay.
which in hindsight I probably shouldn't have done, but here we are.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's, you never know until you know, right?
I know it's what I get for being an early adopter, So
Yeah.
I mean, my wife has a Tesla. I've got an electric truck, so we were all hyped up on that shit too. So, but it is
Nice.
what it is.
What
Yeah.
truck you have?
Ford Lightning.
Oh, okay. Nice. How do you like that thing?
Yep, yep. Oh, I fucking love it, man. I mean, I've had 3 Teslas before this,
Mhm.
and I've had an S, an X, and a 3, and my wife has a Y. And my last car was a 3, and it was just too small for me, and it had white interior. I hated it. And so I went and test drove the Ford Lightning, and I fell in love with it. And Ford's the first like major automaker to adopt the Tesla charging standard. So of course they're the first ones now to get to use all the Tesla superchargers. So it's
Oh,
like now
nice.
there's no limitation to where I can and can't go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you get out to
Yeah, and
Cali,
I
I
got
mean, there's freaking
$7,500.
chargers everywhere.
Oh, on every corner. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. You said you got a $7,500 tax credit?
Yep, yep, yep. Because
Oh, that's
they're
legit.
American made. Yeah, yeah. And
Nice.
see, I had pre-ordered the Cybertruck, and
I was just gonna
Elon's a
ask you
liar,
about that.
so yeah, he's a liar. So I was expecting, all his promises to come through on 500 miles of range and $80,000 base price, and then they come out with something that's 130 and
Yeah.
300 miles range, but real range is only like 250, and my truck has more range than that one does.
Yeah.
So, and it's cheaper. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Have you driven the Cybertruck?
Yeah. No, no, I wish I could, but honestly, like, I
it's
don't know if I'd want to be oh, have you?
bro, it is like the only thing I could possibly relate it to is like you're in the Millennium Falcon. The thing
No
is,
shit.
bro, I was absolutely floored. A buddy of mine drove it over here and he's like, "You guys want to take this for a ride?" It's his dad's, and I'm like, "Hell yeah." So
Hell yeah.
one of my other buddies drove it first, so I'm in the passenger seat, and when I tell you my stomach almost came out of my freaking mouth when he stepped on the
Oh yeah.
pedal, man, that
Yeah.
thing launched. And so then I got to drive, and I drove it on the highway, and I freaking punched on that thing, and it was absolutely amazing. And then
Oh yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
coolest thing, honestly, the coolest thing about it, I think, is the cable steering. So
Okay.
there's we went down this one street, and it's just a little residential street, two-way, but it has like a very small median in the middle, and no
Mhm.
joke. So literally the street, each lane can only fit one car, and then there's parking. I literally just turned the wheel and did a full U-turn on that without having to back up or
No
anything.
way.
Bro, it's
Because the rear
freaking
wheel's
believable.
turned too, right?
Yeah, yep, and it's cable
Yeah,
steering,
yeah.
like the F1 race cars.
Did you notice a delay in it though?
It's
'Cause, see, people were saying there's like a delay.
it's a little, you definitely had to get used to it, because it's like you pull and it's just not like it. I don't know if
Instant,
I
yeah.
could call it a delay, or it was a difference, right? So I could see why
Yeah.
people would say it's a delay, but I think it's just it was very odd at first. I was like, wait, what's going on here? Because I'm used to that instant
Yeah.
feedback. But
Yeah.
but man, like, I don't know if you watch F1 at all, but like those guys, like, you don't really have to turn the steering wheel at all, like, to do these, hard
Right.
turns and everything.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's the exact same way. I mean, you turn it like an inch, and you're like almost making a 90-degree turn. It's wild.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool. That's cool.
yeah, it was
Well,
fun
all
though.
I can say is, when I had my Tesla, I had full self-driving, and even with full self-driving, it would take my hands and eyes on the road and wheel and stuff, you know. It
Uh-huh.
was so refreshing to get in my Ford, and it has Blue Cruise, which is like their full self-driving on the highway or whatever. But it was like, take your hands off the wheel. I'm like, thank God, because you know, I mean, forever, you know, like in a Tesla. Like, you know, if you didn't touch the wheel or, you know, there's a camera in there and it like, you know, ding you or whatever. And like, there's one time where, you know, I mean, I was holding the wheel, but it'd say I didn't. And then, you know, you get 3 of those and then you have to like pull over and they won't let you re-engage it again until the next time you drive the car.
Oh, really? I never heard that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I've never
Hmm.
really driven. I've only driven what's the small one? Not the
The 3.
yeah, I think it was a 3 that I drove, and I like we rented
Yeah.
it. We were on Turo. That's the only one I
Oh
ever
yeah,
drove, and I don't think
probably.
it had self-driving enabled on it, so
Yeah.
I've never messed with that. But that I could see how
Yeah.
annoying that would freaking be.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, it was super cool when like I had to do the stop sign, and it turned right like at a stoplight, you know, and you're just like, holy shit, do I really trust this thing, you know? But
Yeah,
hey, you know, Daddy Elon seems to make it work, so
yeah, exactly. Nice. It'll be
yeah,
crazy to see where we're at
yeah.
in 10 years with
Oh,
AI
absolutely.
technology starting to develop
Yeah.
further. So
Well, and solid state battery tech, you know, is the next wave, I think, of like battery technology, and that's where we'll get to like 1,000-mile range, you know,
oh yeah.
and it'll be a lot more scalable and cheaper and everything else. So
Yeah. We'll see if they even let that stuff get to that point. Yeah, there's always
right.
somebody at the top that's like, wait, if we do that, then we're
Hmm.
not gonna get this recurring revenue. So we need to
Yep.
yeah. So
Planned obsolescence, some
it,
way, somehow. I think it'll just, you know, everything's a subscription service now.
yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be. You won't even own your car.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, man. Sorry, we're going off on tangents, man. I could probably talk to you for
Yeah, no
most
worries.
of the rest of the day. So,
And I'm sure you want to get off soon.
yeah, my wife probably wants me to get off more than I do. So, um, she's like been dealing with the baby all day.
Oh, shit. I know how it goes.
Yeah, like 22-month-old. So, um,
Oh, yeah.
but all right. So most of these
It's
pictures,
just
it
getting
sound.
started, man. It's just getting started.
Oh yeah, she's getting into the terrible
Yeah.
twos, and her
Yeah.
sassiness is
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out.
Twos aren't even terrible. Twos aren't even terrible. Threes are the worst. Yeah.
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 Oh man, you
All
got
right.
a
All right. Now,
little
yeah, the
girl or a little
pictures.
boy?
Yeah. Little boy. Little boy. He just
Oh.
turned 4 over the summer. So,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So you were saying the pictures that are on Zillow are pretty comparable to what it looks like today?
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, and we put new carpet in the living room and up the stairs and in the hallway. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Got it. And the kitchen.
Yeah, no
When was,
major. Yeah,
okay. When was the kitchen done?
before we moved in, I don't know how many years before, but I don't think it was like I'd argue to say it's probably a couple of years before we moved in.
Okay. You guys bought it in 2019?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm just perusing through the rest of these pictures. Bathrooms the same as the pictures here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Not our favorite bathrooms, but yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. So really, if we're gonna, because generally, I don't know if this would make sense as a rental. It's not really my job to make that decision, but just knowing what I
Right,
know, that's probably not going to be the best strategy for this one. It'd probably be,
right.
adding value, updating bathrooms, and just
Yeah,
full update, probably minus the kitchen because that doesn't really need to be done, but paint,
right.
bathrooms, that type of stuff, maybe some
Yeah,
minor landscape stuff, but
minor. Yeah.
yeah, just mowing the lawn. I mean, like everything looks pretty well manicured. So
Yeah, and we had a number of trees cut down too, but yeah.
okay. All right, got it. Um okay, perfect. So all right. I mean, if you guys were gonna keep it, and let's say you won a sweepstakes at like Lowe's and they're like, here's 30 grand, you just have to put it into this house, what would you be doing to the
Mm.
place?
Well, there's no dining room in it. And the kitchen is, okay in size, but right behind the kitchen wall is like a pseudo office type thing. I'd call it an office. I mean, there's just a little closet in there. I wouldn't go as far as call it a bedroom because then it'd be a 5 bedroom, but it's not it wouldn't be a big bedroom. It's an office in my opinion. But I had dreamt of knocking through and making it a bigger kitchen slash, dining room area that's a little more open spaced and not, cornered off into little rooms or whatever. So
Got it.
that's what I'd do with 30 grand.
Is that room you're talking about? I'm trying to see. Which one of these pictures is it? Is it the
It has
one?
like paneling in it. It's like a tan paneling.
Oh, and it's got like a fireplace, like a brick wall with a
No, that's
fireplace.
the back room.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's the back room. There's another one that has some paneling in it, and that's the office.
Got it. Okay. I don't think there's a picture of that room. Actually, yeah,
I think there's
maybe.
like I don't know, it's a smaller size room. That other one, yeah, actually that back room where you saw the carpet and the brick fireplace looks different now too. I put like the life proof vinyl
Oh, nice.
flooring down. Yeah, and painted it in there, so it looks a lot nicer than that.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. Okay. So just like minor updates and then the bathrooms and that type of stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you guys might need help with when you sell?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, got it. Cool. Well, everything that you've been giving me, I've been putting straight into the system. And basically what that does, it goes straight back to our underwriters. They're running a report on the property right now where it'll tell them pretty much everything they need to know, tax records and stuff. I'm going to put you on a brief hold real quick. I'm going to run back there, check on them, see kind of how they're making out, and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Unfortunately, there's
thanks.
no like fancy hold music or anything, so you'll just be in silence.
No worries, man.
All right, sounds good. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right. Did I lose you? Okay. All right, guys. So this is 46203. All right, 3,300 square feet. Wow, there's like nothing. Hmm. Okay, most of the stuff is 3.2s. Hmm. All right, Chad, you there?
Yep.
Hey, sorry about that, man. I actually don't have good or bad news for you quite yet. There was a couple questions
Okay.
they had pointed out that I forgot to ask. Do you know how old the roof is?
It was replaced like a couple years before we moved in, so I
Okay.
think it's like around 7 years old. Yeah.
Okay. 7 years old. Um, okay. And then there's a basement, right? Are there any moisture issues in the
hmm
basement?
No.
Okay. All right. And the electrical panel, is that breakers? I'm
Yep.
guessing, well,
Yeah,
actually
actually, my
you got solar,
electrical.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say my electrical is like an electrician's wet dream, man.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the only
Nice.
way I can describe it.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Electrical. Man, there's like, I mean, your house is pretty unique as far as like comps are concerned. There's like not
Oh, I
really
know.
anything comparable.
Nothing.
So
I know that's
it's,
always been a challenge where we're at.
yeah, it's really a
Even when I had my
crapshoot.
house appraised, I know, even when I had my house appraised back in 2021,
Mhm.
she had to go outside of this area because there were no comps.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, everything is just totally different build structure, I
hmm
mean, smaller square
Yeah,
footage. There's really not a lot of brick builds out there, so
I
it's
know.
tough to comp. I mean, if you were gonna list it, do you have like an agent that you're kind of like married to that you would use, or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have an agent that we work with. I've sold some rental properties and other houses and stuff through. So, I mean, I have
Okay.
a realtor. Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Only reason I was asking is because, sometimes when there's really not comps available to really, come up with a solid figure. I mean, I always like to help people out, and we have a really top-notch agent out in the Indy area that just does a phenomenal
Okay.
job. She's like a freaking pit bull in a skirt. Um, so, if you were going to list and you were open to interviewing, I could certainly connect you with her. But let me, yeah, I mean, everything that they're seeing is, mostly, there's a
Yeah.
lot that's
Different.
below the threes, and then there's a handful that are, in the threes. So, I mean, it sounds like yours would definitely be on
Yeah.
the higher end. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, how flexible on that range would you say you are?
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how close you could get. And, I mean, it's funny you called because, I mean, my wife and I were just on Zillow this evening, so we were already looking around and stuff. So, I mean, we could be motivated, but I mean, not where we're going to have to struggle to find another place to live.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay.
Because, I mean,
Um,
I got our interest rate's like 3%, so I know I'll have to
oh,
take that in
dang.
consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. All right. Would you guys be buying somewhere else, or would you go rent
Yeah.
somewhere else until things change? Okay, got
No,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Probably buy. Buy and then refinance when it made sense.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Um, all right. Yeah, let me give me a second. Let me go check with them and see what they're coming up with.
Okay.
I just know whatever they come up with,
I
it's
know
not
you're
me.
not trying to insult me.
I'm
I
not the guy. I'm not the
know.
guy, right? So
I
I don't.
know.
In
Yeah.
these situations, I err on the side they're probably coming in lower lower than normal, just because there's
Right.
no comps. So, give me a second. Let me go check with them and see what I come up with.
All right. Thanks,
All
Chris.
right, be right back. All right, Chad, you there?
Yep.
All right, man. Dude, this one's really freaking challenging. So
Oh no.
if I had to stick a gun to their head, for a cash offer, it's probably going to be in the twos just because they're just unsure. They're just we don't know. There's not enough comps for us to make a solid, assessment. They'd rather just pass on it if, than take a shot coming,
That makes sense.
you know what I mean? But with that being
How often
said,
does that happen?
what, to just taking passing?
No, like being in this situation. Yeah, being in this situation. Yeah.
It doesn't happen all too often. We actually, so we're in contract on another property in Indy. Where is it at? It's on Allisonville Road.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's a big one. I mean, I think we're under contract, right around like the 700 range, but at first we had no clue where we would need to be on it because it was a very unique property. I think it's like either an acre or 2 acres, and most of the stuff around it is not that big. So, but here's the deal. Like, obviously I know like that type of number wouldn't even, you're not even freaking, it's not even a thought in your mind, and I wouldn't consider it either if I was you. So, but I don't want to just throw it out. What I want to do is just reach out to, that agent that I was referencing and just kind of get her take on it, because really it's all predicated on what we could relist it for after we do whatever renovations. And she's going to have a much better grip on the market there, for that particular property.
For sure.
So let me touch gloves with her, and then she's really good at getting back to us. So I'd say, sometime tomorrow I could have a fairly good idea. I'll bring that to the underwriters, let them know kind of where we're at, and either it's not going to make any sense, or we could possibly make something work. And kind of go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if they were coming in, like if I could get them to come in like the low to mid threes, are we even sniffing anything?
I mean, mid threes would get us a little closer, but I've got what, let's see, 40, 80, almost 100 or 100,000 and, debt on top of this house. So, I owe 190, so that's 290, that I would have to consider right off the top, before we would be able to have money to buy another house. So, that's kind of where my mind's going, is like, I'd like to have enough to go and try to buy another house. Not outright, obviously, but put a nice down payment on it,
Got it. Okay. So so you're 190 plus 40 plus 12 plus 40. Yeah, you're at like 282. Okay. Yeah, what kind of how much do you think you're gonna need realistically for a down payment? Because that'll help me like understand like if this is even I'm gonna be close.
And we've got savings and stuff too, but I mean honestly I'd like to walk away from here with like 70,000-80,000 in cash.
Got it. Okay. So okay. So if we could get to that mid 3 range, we might be able to possibly make something work. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal, man. I won't leave you hanging. I'll let you know either way, like, hey, we're gonna be close or we're just really far off. And then worst case scenario, made a friend. It was great chatting with you, man. I wish every call,
too,
man, I had some calls today where I was like beating my head against the wall. I'm like, is it me today or what's going on? So
no, it was a great chat with you too. Chris, right?
Yep. Yeah. Chris, deal. Like, let's make a deal.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, you're perfect for the role.
I appreciate that, man. Well, yeah,
cool.
let's talk tomorrow. What time might be good for you tomorrow? Like same time?
Yeah, same time works perfect.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll reach out to you tomorrow and then, you know, it'll either be a yay or nay and, we'll go from there. You mentioned you had, some other rental properties. You got any other properties you're thinking
Did.
about selling? Oh, did. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. These are ones I bought like, during the downturn in '09. House I bought for
Nice.
10K that I turned around and sold for like 150. So yeah,
Oh,
no, I should have held
nice.
on to them because now they're worth 220.
Yeah. You never know though, right? It's like
I
freaking,
know exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it's I mean we did a deal a few years ago and we got lucky on it. It was right before the interest rates peaked. It was in San Diego and we
Hmm.
had it under contract for 1.17 and we were gonna flip it ourselves and then but we have a pretty big network of other investors here in San Diego and so we just tossed it out there to see what other people would do on it and
Yeah.
another investor offered us 1.4 on it just as is
Wow,
just
that's a
a
quick
sign.
300 Jack.
Yeah, exactly, we're like done,
Yep.
see ya, in and out.
Yep. Yep.
So
Hmm. Those are the
but
best deals.
yeah, exactly. So, but okay. One other thing to think about,
Yeah.
sounds like you're in a decent spot financially, and so getting another mortgage
Yeah.
might not be a tough thing for you. We also
No.
buy homes on some creative terms from time to time. Um,
Oh.
so I don't know if you're familiar with Subject to at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So my wife and I are closing on our primary residence this month, this way, where we're basically, the seller didn't have really any equity. It's a little bit of a different situation. Seller didn't really have any equity. But
Mm.
basically we got rid of their agent, because they tried to sell it for like 100 days and couldn't. So they canceled their
Mm.
agreement with their agent. We came in and we said, okay, instead of you having to pay to sell your house, we'll give you a little bit of cash up front, and then we'll just take over the mortgage. So we're not assuming it. The mortgage is still staying in the seller's name, but we're getting a 4.67% interest rate on an $800,000 house with like 40K cash to close. So, I mean, it's probably saving us somewhere in the neighborhood like $2,000 a month in a monthly payment. Um,
Right.
so, if that's something, you're open to discuss and like, if we can't make something work on a cash number, then, there might be something to
Yeah.
be had there too. Cause, especially if we can
Okay.
assume the solar. So we can talk about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Awesome, man. Well,
Sounds good, Chris. Well,
good
thanks a
chatting
lot.
with you. Yeah. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, you too. All right. Sounds good, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. See ya.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys. So yeah, that was a freaking tough one to comp. Extremely tough to comp. There's like nothing in the area. All of the things that we were looking at were just wildly lower in price, way smaller acreage. I mean, his is I think it's 2.7 acres. No, his is one acre, a little over 1 acre. But there's nothing else. There's no other brick builds like this. It's 3,300 square feet, 4 bed, 3 bath, big pole barn, big pool. And it's fairly updated. It's nice. I mean, this could make for a good novation. If it could sell for over 4, let's say it could sell for 450, and I don't know, maybe it could, maybe it won't. But if it could sell for 450, then that brings, after 10% off the top, that brings it to 405. So if we can get it around 350, then that's a 55K spread. If we can, I mean, he'll sell it for 350 is basically where we're at. So I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but I'm building a ton of rapport with this guy. We're connecting on everything from freaking Teslas, Cybertrucks, driving like all this stuff, right? And now he's, without even really discussing the price, he just drops from the 390 to 410 all the way down to like mid threes, right? So that's like a $40,000 reduction, $40,000 to $60,000 reduction. So if I can get him at 350 plus 30K divided by 0.9, if we can list the property, if it could sell for 4.25, then that's a solid novation right there. So we might actually be able to make this happen. And he even said, oh, 30 days might be tough. We might need 60 or 90 days. This is like grade A1 novation right here. So I'm going to hit up my agent, have her run numbers on this just because she's boots on the ground. She does this all day. She's a freaking stud in the indie market, and she'll be able to tell us whether this thing is a deal or a dud real quick. So hopefully you guys got value out of that. And also my pivot to sub 2 these days, especially since I'm closing on my primary residence sub 2, it definitely gives me a leg up when it comes to having the discussion, and a lot more credibility. But I just plant the seed, right? Because he already knows he's not going to have a ton of equity. He's looking for 70 to 80K of equity, right? This could be a really good sub 2 deal. And if we can assume the solar and, all that jazz, then it'll be even better. So hopefully you guys got value out of that. Felt like that was a good call. Let me double check to see if I have any other text messages that I got to get back to. Ref and football tonight. I'll be done at 5:30 your time. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I got about 25 minutes before he's going to be off from that. So we texted one guy about his house and he said, give me a good running car for it. So he wants to trade, he's going to trade his house for a good running car. Yeah, see about that. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for the night here, and we're going to be back at it tomorrow. I'm going to be on from 9:30 to about 12 o'clock tomorrow, going live, and then from 2:30 to about 5 or 5:30 tomorrow as well. So definitely hit that like button, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel where you can see more of these calls. It's kind of rough day with some calls, wasn't really getting some traction, but had a good call with him, and there could possibly be something here. So we'll see. Stay tuned. That call will be live tomorrow, so you guys can see the finality of that, and hopefully we can make something happen here. But other than that, subscribe to